Hey guys, welcome to Six's Corner, man. My name is Six Man. We are here for our first episode, man. And the first episode is going to be based on dating as a nerd. I had covered this a couple of times. I actually streamed it, but I think I'm gonna take a different approach this time and actually do videos on YouTube. So before we get started with this episode, please, if you can, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to let you know that I'm going live or also publishing a video. But we're going to get into it. So, before I met my lovely girlfriend, dating for me specifically was different because I am a nerd, I'm a geek, I'm a weeb, I'm a blurred black nerd basically. So there's different approaches that I have to actually do, and as far as like approaching a lady and everything like that, I had to really first and foremost, and all my fellow blurs, nerds, geeks can relate to what I'm about to say. You had to build some type of confidence. And the reason why you had to build some type of confidence because you don't want to be rejected. Number one thing, I think just men in general, especially nerds, geeks, and weebs like myself, is that we don't want to be rejected. Because then we feel like, and I hate to say this, I don't like to feel, me personally, I don't like to feel, but it is what it is. We feel like that we failed. We feel like we didn't accomplish what we perceived to accomplish, if that makes sense. But the thing is that we always want to just get the woman that we like and that we attracted of, and it's like it's so hard. We see the attractive women in shows and anime shows, or even clips on TikTok, YouTube, and social media in general. But when we actually generally physically see a beautiful woman, it just seems like that is a different approach than actually seeing it behind the screen. So but yeah, man, it's kind of tough, and I can say is that we actually are the most underrated in a dating market, in particular, because how quirky we are, how geeky we are, how shy we are, and everything like that. And I have a video to prove it. So we're gonna go ahead and pull it up real quick so you can see the video and see if we can go over it afterwards. Listen to what this lovely lady have to say about us nerds and geeks and weebs. Here we go.
Nerdy dudes are the most underrated guy to date. Like, you're telling me you don't want to go out. You want to stay in and do the least. Play video games, watch movies, and eat snacks. Yes. Nerdy dudes.
Sorry about that. So, as you can see, she was basically saying, nerdy dudes, and let's go back over the video. Let's read exactly what she says. So she says, nerdy dudes are the most underrated guys to date. I see what she's saying, because most of the majority of women like a bad guy, like a hunk, like a guy full of confidence, like a guy that's very direct with what he wants and likes to take charge. With nerdy guys like us and weebs and geeks and stuff like that, we have a hard time basically, I don't have that problem no more, but I had to work on myself. But like basically we had a hard time to basically learning how to take lead, learning how to take leadership, and learning how the direction that we wanted to go in a relationship, or even trying to build a relationship. So that's one part I can agree with her on. And then let's finish playing and see what she said.
Dudes are the most underrated guy to date. Like, you're telling me you don't want to go out.
So she was saying basically that we don't want to go out. That's absolutely true, because of the simple fact, confidence has to deal with that. Social construct has to deal with that. How we interact in the social environment, and how we just being in a social environment sometimes brings our anxiety up in some way. So like like to be in our we like to be in our bubble, and we like to be in our space. We like to be to ourselves where we don't have to really interact with other people. We don't want to be outcasts. We don't want to be stand out this. I mean, I don't know if that's a word or not, but like we just don't want to be. We don't want to stand out in the crowd. So we basically are more acceptable and more comfortable being in our home, in our space, where we don't even have to interact. And then think about it like this: if we on the computers and stuff like that, and if it's something that if somebody that we don't agree on and somebody that we don't see ourselves interacting with, we could just like block them, and that would solve all the issues right there. So I agree with what she's saying, and we don't want to go out half the time. Half the time we like to be home. We all like to watch our favorite anime. We all like to watch our favorite movie, play our favorite games, like to interact with our friends and stuff, and just like talk about nerdy and geeky stuff, you know. But now, not to, no pun intended, but like that's when Gamer Bar comes along. And as you can see on your lower right hand corner, Gamer Bar is an anime video game bar here in Houston, Texas. So to all my nerds, weebs, and geeks that's in Houston, Texas, follow us on all social media platforms, including TikTok. So to get more details on upcoming events and stuff like that. But besides that, like those are things that we like to do. So we want to go ahead and continue on with the video and see what else that we missed out.
You want to stay in and do the least. Play video games, watch movies, and eat snacks.
This is a fact. We want to play video games. We want to watch movies, our favorite animes, or just movies in general. It don't gotta be. It don't have to be only anime movies, but it could be nerdy, geeky movies that we think that is more suitable for us. You get what I'm saying? And we like to eat our favorite snacks. But I will say this though. Living by myself at the time before I met my girl and everything, and snacking, I gained a lot of weight. And I highly recommend to all my nerds and weaves and geeks, like we can love to do those things, but I highly recommend you to basically highly recommend you to like try to be more active. I think the best gaming alternative if you want to continue gaming and also get some exercise is VR. And the reason why I said it because VR you be more active in gaming and where you can burn calories and still even if you eat whatever you want to eat, you still burning the calories off right away. So like I highly recommend anybody if you do have VR. I think PlayStation have a VR. I think Oculus is a VR, and then you got HTC, and you have there's a lot of different companies that make VR. So I recommend to get a VR just to be more active and be more health conscious and be more aware of your health, so you can live longer and be more prosperous and be more proactive in your life. You get what I'm saying? But like, yeah, that's the thing. But she got a point on that too.
Yes. Nerdy dudes are the most underrated guided date.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to cut that off. But besides that, yeah, this is very true. But we wanna go back and we want
Nerdy dudes are the most underrated guided date.
Alright, let me go back real quick. I'm sorry. So, hood chicks dating blurs. That's not. Ooh, I don't want to. Let's touch this.
Guy from the street. I left you a message several days ago. I don't like leaving second messages, but I like you. You're a very elegant woman. You're very attractive, but I don't play that game. So here's how it's going to work. If I do not receive a phone call back from you by 3 o'clock Thursday afternoon, I'm no longer interested. I'm very intelligent. I'm great in bed. I make great money. Believe it or not, I'm a complete catch. Matter of fact, I'm one of the few men in the city that has nothing wrong with him. Now, I understand if you've got other issues. I don't know, maybe you were abused in childhood. Maybe you're just a person who's extremely frightened or has an anxiety disorder.
Wow,
Maybe
this
you're
is
on
funny.
some medication for that. I don't know. There could be another issue. If you're psychologically normal and you haven't called me because there's been some horrible thing that's happened in your life which prevented you, that's fine. Otherwise, it's Dimitri calling again, the guy from the street. I left you.
Wow. So as you can see, you can't really see it, but let me lower this down a little bit so you can actually see what's going on here. So just a little tad bit. There you go. So it says dating black male nerds be like, first and foremost, I don't know a lot of black blurred guys that talk like this, but I do know one in particular that's close to sounding like this, and that's like to really be very particular of what he's saying and speaking clearly of what he's looking for in a woman now. But it's funny that this is up like that. But like a lot of guys that I know, and even guys that I don't know, that's blurs, they don't really talk like this. And so I kind of disagree with her what she's saying, but it's funny though. I give it to her. It's definitely funny, interesting. Let's go to the next video.
Nerdy black men. So I love nerdy black men. I want to date and marry a nerdy.
Girl, don't stop looking. They're out there, I swear. So this creator was talking about how she wants to marry and date a nerdy black man. And as somebody that is married to a nerdy black man, they are top tier partners, providers, and fathers. Like they are the best. So I met my husband on, I can't believe I'm gonna tell the internet this, but we met on Tinder. I had no indication and
Stop right there. So I got a story to tell y'all. I gotta switch this to intermission. Hold on. I got a story to tell y'all about this, and I can relate to what she's saying. So my fiance, my girl that I'm with right now, I met her through Tinder. And it's very interesting that people will always say that it's not a good idea to meet somebody on the dating app. I would say, me personally, don't listen to those people, because even though they say not to do it, because they have bad experiences on dating apps, doesn't mean your results will be the same. So I would highly recommend anybody, any man, woman, if you want to look for love, try dating apps, give it a try, and see how the outcome is. At the end of the day, if the outcome is a higher chance of you getting a significant other, then I will continue to use Tinder, but not for a long period of time. I'm not talking about years or so. It's more of a short-term try, anything like that. Still get out the house. Still try to really be more sociable to other people, so you know how to have some good interpersonal communication skills. That's very important. And that's another thing I think a lot of us nerds, geeks, and weebs have an issue with. It's like how to interact with well, I take that back. We don't know how to interact with women, especially a significant other. When we get in front of women, we have a hard time thinking what to say, how to say, because we always worried about their responses, and hopefully that we don't push them away or them running them away. But if you date a woman that have the same interests as you, as anime, gaming, anything like that, it's a great conversation starter. If you basically name your favorite anime and then see what's her favorite anime, see why she likes her anime, and get more in detail what that anime that she likes, what does it mean to her, and I think that way it could create it's a good conversation starter, and that way y'all can have good conversations and get to know each other. That's exactly what me and my girl did. So I think dating apps is cool. Just give it a try. I recommend you to give it a try. If right off the back you're not getting the results that you want to get, then get off and then just try something else to have a better chance of you getting the significant other that you want to get. So that's all I'm gonna say. Let's go back to the string.
Any of his profile pictures that he was a nerd, and he had no any indication in my pictures that I was a nerd. As a matter of fact, I had like all my like baddie pictures on there, and he thought I was kind of a catfish. So we were texting each other for a couple of months, and you know, just talking about super mundane things, but he was consistent. He consistently texted me every day. Finally, I got irritated, like, so are we ever gonna meet, or are you just like wasting my time? So we decided to meet at a Starbucks and have coffee. Like, I don't.
And I like that. I like the fact that that's not what I personally did, but I would recommend any guy that's willing to find a significant other. If you really want to get to know somebody, depending on your finances, take them to a spot that you feel as though that is going to be more beneficial for the both of y'all, and where it's going to be a quiet place and everything like that. Because me personally, I took my girl out to a Chinese restaurant. We had the best freaking time of our lives. And like now, that's something that me and her really hold on, and that's something that we cherish all the time. We talk about it to this day. But the thing is that everybody is not in the position that I'm in. So I would say whatever finances that you have, going to a coffee shop is not a problem at all. It's reasonable. It's not as pricey. I would say that way you just go out for some coffee and you sit there and treat it like, I hate to say it like this, but treat it like an interview. You want to know her pros and know her cons. She's going to ask you the same thing about your pros and your cons, and you be effective and be communicative towards her, and just show her that you know how to interact with her, and show her that you can be confident in everything. That's all I'm saying. But besides that, yeah, man, like, just take it easy. Don't get too anxious. Don't think badly about yourself. Just go ahead and continue being your true nerdy self, and it's okay. If that woman don't like who you are, just know that for every man, there's tens of women out there that's possibly for you, for your genuine self, and for your truly self. So that's all I'm saying, man.
Want the pressure of an actual date, neither did he. We kind of just wanted to meet up and see if we clicked in person. Well, before our meetup, he asked if we could talk on the phone, and I agreed. He said he would feel more comfortable with us talking on the phone instead of texting, and so he called me.
That is funny that he says that. A lot of people they don't just rather meet up. They rather talk on. See, that's more of an old school way of communication. That's how I was growing up. Like, as far as like getting the girl phone number and talking to her on the phone, and besides texting is cool, but certain words can get misinterpreted when you texting one another. So, but when you basically on the phone, you basically more how I can say this, you more aware on what they saying. You can actually feel what they saying, and you can actually basically understand clearly of what they trying to say. Comparing to texting and everything like that. So I get what he's saying.
Called me at like 10 o'clock at night, and we stayed on the phone till like 5 in the morning. At first, the conversation was just kind of like getting to know you, blah, 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 whatever. So then he asked, like, hey, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I'm just watching a show that my son started watching, and I'm kind of like invested in it now. He was like, what show are you watching? I told him I'm watching a show called Hunter x Hunter, which, if you know, it's an anime. He said immediately, he was like, oh.
You see that, guys? Remember I was telling you. Once, and this is a breath of fresh air. I'm telling you right now, once you hear a woman said, like, say a title of any anime show, your social wall goes from here to here. Cause now you be like, oh, she can understand. Oh, she understands about the anime, which I didn't even know that she understand. But now it's a good conversation starter, like I mentioned before earlier in the video. Now, when she said that she was watching Hunter x Hunter, he was like, you heard how he responded to her. He was like, oh. He was like, oh shoot, I did not know she watched anime. But that's continue on to hearing what she had to say.
Oh. Immediately, he started telling me his favorite anime shows. Told me.
See that? His conversations, like his communication just went from here. He went from here to here now. So now he was like, okay, since she's watching Hunter x Hunter, now he felt comfortable letting her know who he really is. As far as like he told her his favorite anime, and he also told her that he was a gamer. Let's finish and see what she say.
He was a gamer. Told me, what games he likes to play, and basically told me that a lot of the reason his past relationships didn't work is because the girls he dated just really weren't into that stuff.
Facts. Story time. I'm going to go through this real quick. I'm going to make it short and simple. Story time. This is a fact. Let's talk about my past relationship. I was married. I'm a divorcee. And my ex-wife, I told her I like anime and like gaming and everything. At the beginning, it was cool with her. But at the same time, I knew that she wasn't really into it, because every time I kept talking about it, she kind of brushed it off. A couple of years went in and everything like that, and then and when she I found out that I was really into it, she didn't like it. And then that kind of really made me upset, because damn, if you wasn't really into it, you could have just told me and not waste my years and my time, my vulnerability, my just my time, period. You could have saved all that. But she didn't. She was selfish. She wanted to get married. And she wanted to be married so she can tell her friends that she was married at the end of the day. But long story short, this is facts. If you're dealing with somebody and the moment that you even mention anime or gaming and they brush you off or they don't like that stuff, just don't waste their time and just let them go. Because later on down the line, even though y'all had great conversations about life and anything like that, you can't really genuinely be yourself. And that's something that I had to understand and what I learned. So now, like I said, I'm going to be honest with you. I pray to God. I'm a heavily Christian man, God-fearing man and everything. And I pray to God to bring me a woman that's similar to me, and God answer my prayers with the woman of my life that one day I am going to marry. I am going to marry her. But man, we so similarities off the roof. Very supportive of what I'm doing with my business and everything, becoming a part of my business, the animes and just the culture overall. I really enjoy it. So what this lady is saying is 100% facts. Her God told her that's why none of his relationships worked out, because of the simple fact they didn't have the same interests, and they didn't even care to have the same interests. You always, fellas, all my nerds, geeks, and weebs, you gotta meet a woman that's either, I say these two type of women you need to meet. Either that loves anime and gaming, or is open to anime and gaming, meaning that she didn't never watch it, but she is open to try. Because then that's the case. If she's open to try, I guarantee you 9-10 chances she's going to end up loving it, you know, because she's open-minded. You get what I'm saying? So I agree with this 100%. Let's get back to the stream so we can finish this off.
And he was really hyped that I don't mind you gaming for hours at a time because I'm a book nerd. I want to read, and I want you to not bother me while I'm reading.
Right.
So it worked out.
So, okay, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video, but I hope y'all like the first reaction on Six's Corner. This is my intake. Please let me know in the comment section, what are your thoughts? Fellas, let me know your dating experience and everything as a nerd. Just let me know if you're still single or not, or if you are having issues and trouble. Let me know. Reach out to me on here on YouTube, man. Again, I want to thank y'all so much, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. And I catch y'all later. Peace out.